Welcome to Gaming Coalition's Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 3 review. First, let me start off. I'm Joe. Nice to meet you. I want to start off, first off, by saying this is not going to be a negative review. There's a lot of negative reviews out there. A lot of influencers are upset about the situation. They didn't like the way the episode went. And I'm going to be honest, I think the episode was actually pretty badass. I'll tell you why. You agree, you don't agree, it's okay. You're allowed to have your opinion, okay? Alright, so moving right along. First, I want to talk about the bad press that they got because the episode was so dark. Obviously, that was the way the show was designed for atmosphere. Yeah, a lot of people were like, oh, we couldn't see nothing. Oh my God, what's going on? I think that was the whole purpose. It was to create that, epic fight in the middle of the night where back in the day there weren't no lampposts, there weren't no, there was no lighting like there is now. Okay, we have a lot of lamps, a lot of street lamps and all that stuff. It wasn't like that back in the day. It was actually dark out there. You're in the woods, you ain't gonna see jack. Unless, you're carrying a torch. But I'm pretty sure the whole scenario was done like that. The whole episode was done like that to create that ambiance, that sense of dread in the night. Play on that psychological fear that people have of the dark. But not just that, of the undead. Now, I love what they did with the Dothraki. The Unsullied and the Dothraki got their asses handed to them, and it was great. You know why it was great? Because you're facing this horde of undead, okay? You can't win. I'm sorry. I'm rooting for the underdog, yes, but you can't expect to go up against those odds and actually be, oh, I'm badass. I'm Dothraki, I be killing people, cutting their ponytails off. Oh, I'm gonna own these undead. No, sorry. No, it's not going to work that way because, you know what? They don't feel no pain. And the way they had to charge, yeah, I can see people saying, why did they charge? It didn't make no sense. Well, in a way, yeah, in a way, no. Okay, when the Red Queen came and she lit up their swords, now they have light, now they can see. They think they're badasses. They're charging in, okay? It's pretty simple. But at the same time, you did see shadows moving, so they knew that there was enemies out there, and maybe they were tired of waiting. They're supposed to be these badasses. You think they want to sit there and be like, yeah, we'll wait for you to come to us because it's dark and we're scared? No. Yeah, change your perception, change how you think, look at things in a different way, because if you look at them from another angle with another point of view, you're going to understand that sometimes things make sense one way and sometimes they make sense another way. And a lot of people, they're looking at it like, oh, why would they charge out into the darkness? That's crazy. Not necessarily. They all had like swords that were on fire. So they essentially all had a torch. They all thought they were really badass. And they're thinking, oh, we're going to go kick some ass. We're going to show these fools how it's done. And no, they didn't. I love that they got their asses handed to them, and all you see is the lights flickering off. You hear the screams and stuff, and everything's just happening. It's going crazy. I love the way they did that. And you got the armies, the Unsullied. You could actually see fear in the Unsullied's eyes. They're supposed to not feel fear, and you give them props. They had courage. They stood their ground. But at the same time, if you look at it, the way they set it up with all the lights going out, you see them coming back from the darkness. It played on the fears of all the soldiers. I'm surprised they didn't have people actually abandoning their posts and running, because that would have made it even more intense. Like, oh my God, what are we doing? Let's get inside. We can't fight these things. I think that's the whole premises of that. I think that's why they did that, because they wanted to create that sense of dread. This is something that they've been building up for like 7 years. Okay, so if you think about it, the way the undead annihilated everything in their path, okay, they just blew through everything. So why wouldn't you expect them to blow through the Dothraki and the Unsullied and all the soldiers? I thought it was really cool how they had all the mini fights. You know, everybody had their moment in the light. You know, you could see how they all felt, and I think that played on a lot of emotions. A lot of people have, you know, characters, their favorites and stuff, and they're drawn to those characters. And seeing those characters actually deal with the situation that we're in was really cool. Now, moving along, Arya killing the Night King. Man, people were mad how she just materialized. I don't know if anybody's read the books, but I think they did do her justice in the season, in the series, showing how she went through her training and stuff. But Arya went to training to be an assassin. So, but I don't think that you can really say she snuck up on the Night King. She materialized out of nowhere. If you watched the episode from start to end, and if you watched Game of Thrones from the beginning, you would know that the Night King isn't scared. He's arrogant. He doesn't have to say anything. You know why he doesn't have to say anything? Because his actions speak for him, okay? Actions speak louder than words. Always have, always will. Now, that is the beauty of it, the subtlety of how powerful the Night King actually is, and how arrogant. If you look at it from the beginning of the show, when he comes in, he brings all that cold weather with him. He uses his powers to like neutralize the attempts of the castle to of the archers to light the trench on fire just by using his magic. And then, you know, the Red Queen comes out and she lights the trenches. And what does he do? He has his horde stop, and he's controlling all these undead with just a thought. And then he starts making them sacrifice themselves to build sort of a bridge over the fire for the rest of the army. He's that's ingenious, okay? Any way you slice that, that was pretty badass. And then he falls off the dragon. You don't see him making a face like, ah, no, he just plain as day, like, yeah, I'm gonna live, I'm okay. This ain't nothing. Then Khaleesi on her dragon, Rhaegar. Wait, no, what? I forget the dragon's name. Anyways, now it's gonna bother me. Rhaegar Targaryen was her brother. I think she did name the dragon after him. But the dragon breathes fire onto the Night King, and this is the point. He just stands there. He just stands there. This dragon's breathing fire on him, killing thousands of undead just flying by, and then it comes up to him and he's like, yeah, you done? Okay, now I'm gonna throw my spear. And she hauls ass. And then we have him walking, and snow's coming up. He doesn't even bat an eye. He walks a slow, leisurely pace, like, yeah, here we go, another fool, la la. Turns around, he's like, hey, puts his hands up, undead rise around him. Now, okay, I was like, come on, Snow, get your ass in there, get him, all right. That would have been a little bit cheesy if, you know, he did get in there and just murked him, and then everything ended there. I think that the fact that the Night King actually summoned the undead, and Snow's like trying to get to him, but he doesn't make it to him, was pretty badass. Because the Night King just turns around again, like, wasting my time, and he walks in. Now, he's so arrogant, and he's not saying nothing. His tactics, his behavior, his demeanor, everything throughout that episode just said, I'm a badass. You don't scare me. And so he turns his back on Snow. I think it might have been cool. Oh, hold on. Ah, damn, really? We'll wait for that to stop ringing. Anyways, that's great. So he turns his back on Snow. I think it would have been nice if Snow actually made it to him, got a couple swings at him, and then the undead came in on him and forced him to retreat while the Night King, showed off some sword skills. But it didn't happen that way. It didn't have to happen that way because, hey, it's just like, you're wasting my time. And he walks away. Then he gets to Bran. And now we're here, and this is what the whole episode was leading to. And Bran, a lot of people are saying, what is the purpose of the three-eyed raven? From what I take from the show, Bran is more like a prophet. He's like an oracle, a seer. He sees things. He chronicles like what's going on throughout history. He doesn't really get involved in it. And for some reason, he has some sway over the night. Like I guess his character is tied to the balance. You got the Night King nighttime, and Bran is morning. Like if they kill him, then they go into forever night. I don't know how that works. Maybe we should look into that. But now when he gets to Bran, all the undead stop. Okay, they all stop. And they're standing there because they know that they don't need to do anything because the Night King can take care of it. Right? Yeah, he could have finished him off like that, but it was more of a personal thing. You could see that he wanted to do it himself. He was arrogant. He's like, I could do this. That's not a problem, He didn't have to say nothing because he exuded that energy, that confidence, that arrogance. And he comes, and what happens? Theon charges him. And again, he shows how OP he is. Just snaps the staff, shoves it right in him, lets him die. That ain't even bad night. He didn't even exert himself. You understand? So now he's walking up to Bran, about to pull the sword. What happens? Arya comes in. Yeah, you can hear her screaming. But at the same time, if you think about it, all right, now Arya's training was to be an assassin, to be able to do exactly what she did. Creep up on whether it's humans, night walkers, whatever. And yeah, she took a bump to the head that the writers were saying that made her not function up to par when she was running away from the zombies and stuff, or the night walkers, whatever. But at the same time, if you followed the story from start to end, Arya has always been what's the word I'm looking for? Underestimated. Everybody always underestimated her from the door. The only one that really treated her with respect and like she knew what she was, like they knew what she was capable of, were her father and her brother Snow. Okay, Jon always treated Arya with this kind of respect, understanding. And so Ned actually arranged it for her to train and stuff, to be who she wanted to be. And then the first one I can think of to underestimate her was actually Joffrey, when they got into that sword fight and she cut him and threw away his sword. Now, if you pay attention to the show, throughout the whole show, it's her proving herself, proving that she's capable of doing the things that the boys are capable of doing, becoming an assassin, and killing the people that hurt her family. And when she goes after the Hound, she has the opportunity to kill him, but she doesn't kill him. She told him he was on her list. She told him she was going to kill him, but instead she just left him for dead. Like, let him to die. She didn't die. You know what? You're not worth my time. And the Hound came to respect her by his interactions with her. He came to respect her. Genji, the blacksmith, he came to respect her. He underestimated her. She asked him for a weapon. he didn't want to make the weapon. He said he had to make the other weapons first. And so what did she do? Again, she proved herself. And that little exhibition that she did with the little daggers, the glass, dragon glass daggers, that showed him that, you know, you shouldn't underestimate her. And even their experiences, he should have known better, but he didn't. The guy with the flaming sword, I forget his name, damn it. I'm drawing blanks on names today. But he also underestimated her, and he came to respect her. Brienne of Tarth, she underestimated her, came to respect her. Her sister, Sansa, underestimated her, came to respect her. So, and she also came to respect her sister. So, if you pay attention to all the build up to that point, she was always underestimated. And I think the same can be said about the Night King. You know, he heard her. I'm sure he could see through the eyes of his undead. He could see her coming. He knew she was coming. He wasn't scared. He wasn't worried. He didn't think he could be harmed by any mortal. He was arrogant. He was cocky. He's like, I got this. And she caught him off guard. Now, that said, when you see one Nightwalker, you hear the breeze, like, and then that's when she came out. I think that was like a kind of like just a hint that she got in, that she was there. And I think that also gave away the fact that the Night King knew she was there too, because if the undead knew she was there, then he knew she was there. But when he turns around and he grabs her by the throat, it was like, you know, nothing. It's like, yeah, nice try. But she got him. And I think that was awesome. I think her getting him was unpredictable. And a lot of people are saying it was unpredictable just to be unpredictable. And I think that's sad. I really do. Because of the simple fact that a lot of things nowadays are so predictable. I'm sorry. I went to see Avengers and honest to God, I was predicting everything as it was happening. And I'm like, okay, I was expecting more. The epic battle at the end of Avengers, I was like, you know what? They should have had more moments like in Game of Thrones where it was more personalized, more of, you know, the characters getting in there, getting their hands dirty and with other enemies and stuff, not just the scene with Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor and Thanos. That was like their epic moment, and I think that was it was done pretty good. But I also feel like throughout the Avengers movies, you know, you were just supposed to like, they didn't really build Thanos up the way they built up the Night King. You know, they didn't showcase any of his like true power, how formidable he was until the last movie, which can be interpreted as them waiting for that moment to show off how strong he actually is. But I think it would have been more believable if they actually built up to it and made it more like the Night King, the way they built him up. Like when he took down the dragon. Come on, nobody was expecting that. And then he rezzed the dragon and made him his pet. Yeah, that was pretty sick. So then, alright, so now back to Arya killing the Night King. I think that was perfect. I think they executed that well. A lot of people are saying, oh, the prophecies this, prophecy that. Okay, first of all, how many psychics are there in the real world? And I say this is gonna happen, and then it doesn't happen. Okay, come on, you're gonna put all your eggs in that basket. Oh, the prophecy said this, so this should have been the way it happened. Give me a break, okay? Okay. I think people are upset because they wanted it to go a certain way, and it didn't go their way. So they're like, oh, this is crap. It should have went this way. Look, man. The writers are the writers, okay? And they have talent. And if you watch the show and you actually pay attention to the little things that are happening and you look at them from different points of view, if we watch the show and you actually look at it from another point of view, you might actually see what the writers were trying to accomplish rather than ragging on what happened and being upset about what you didn't like about it. Now, don't get me wrong, express your opinions. That's great. You know, you're entitled to those opinions, and if it wasn't for your opinion, I wouldn't have my opinion. I wouldn't I wouldn't think about what you said and then be like, how can I counter that? What's the logic? What, you know, how can I come to some kind of counterpoint so that I can persuade you? That's the whole point of it. But the best part is, right, the show has been amazing. I mean, like, I sat there and I was on the edge of my seat the whole time I'm watching it. I'm like, whoa. It's like, oh my God. And I'm thinking everybody's gonna die. And I thought, man, they need to kill everybody. They need to kill everybody. And then just have like 2 or 3 people live. Okay? Like, get away from it. But I was really into the show and I really enjoyed it. And I saw some of these reviews and the way they were knocking stuff. And just, I'm sorry. Angry Joe's review with the polar bear. He had me laughing. But I actually liked the undead polar bear. I thought it was pretty cool. So, yeah, I'm glad they got that in there. And I do agree with the point he made about Ghost. You know, where'd Ghost go? We didn't see Ghost. And the dragon, Snow's dragon. Okay, Snow's dragon, you knew that he went down hard. Because they showed it. They showed him going down hard. So I'm assuming that he's injured and that's why he didn't come back. And I'm sure that he'll heal and come back for future episodes. But at the same time, you know, they did show that. They showed him getting hurt. And as far as the darkness of the episode goes, I thought that it was brilliantly executed. I loved the way they executed it. It made you feel like, oh man, this is really bad. And yeah, they milked the tackling of the cast, you know, showing them getting swamped by the undead. They milked that a lot. And then when you had Khaleesi and damn it, the guy that Sam gave the sword to, the Valyrian steel sword. Oh God, he's the son of the old Night's Watch leader. Oh, damn. Why can't... Mormont. That's it. Mormont. That whole scene where they're there and they're fighting for their life together. And they actually had Khaleesi fighting, which is interesting because I don't remember... I have a vague recollection of her actually training a little bit, but never to the extent where she became proficient. They never really built on that, which I think they should have, but they didn't. I think Snow, when he actually got pinned down by the dragon, and that's another thing. When he was walking through the fight, where he was trying to get to Bran, you saw him. He saw everybody getting like murked. He saw them getting attacked. He saw them in danger, and he made the conscious choice to be like, okay, you know what? He cares about him. You know he cares about him, but he made that decision to keep going. He made the right choice to try to end it, to push forward, to try to get to the Night King and end it so that he can save who he could save. And when he got pinned down by the dragon, I thought it was pretty freaking cool because here he is. He's trying his damnedest to get to... He's sacrificing. He's making the right choices. He's pushing himself to try to get there. And it would have been cool if he did. But you know what? Life doesn't work out like that. You don't always make it. Sometimes you fail. And when you fail, you got to get back up and try again. But he did. He got pinned down, and he's like, he pulled his sword. He's like, screw this. And he faced the dragon, and he was really ready to die and go ham, right? He made that choice. He's like, I got to do something. And he stood up to the dragon, and it just happened that, you know, Arya got that nice hit in on the Night King and ended the whole shebang. And we all knew it was going to end that way. There was no other way for it to end. From the minute that Sam used his the dragon glass to kill the first, was it a dagger? I think it was dragon glass. I don't even think it was Valyrian steel. From the minute he killed the first White Walker, we knew that that's how the whole thing was going to end. That's the only way that it could have ended. So who got the killing shot doesn't really matter. We knew how it was going to end, and I think it was really cool that they chose Arya, especially because she was always the underdog. Everybody always underestimated her, and she's always proven herself time and time again of being proficient and good at what she does. Yeah, she's good. And Snow, okay, yeah, it would have been nice to see him throw down. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, because he's one of my favorite characters. When they killed him, I was like, oh, and I read the books. Okay, loved them all. And when they took him out and then they brought him back, the character he plays, they merged two characters from the book for Snow. He wasn't in the book. He wasn't Rhaegar's son. But if you read the books, you know that. If you don't read the books, you should. There's a lot of stuff in there that's actually really good too. But I think that her getting the killing shot was pretty cool. I thought it was a good way to end the show, that show, on an unpredictable nature. You know, too many things are too predictable nowadays, and people want that. They want that. They want it to be a cut and dry, you know, cookie cutter. Oh, this is the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. You know what? If you think that, why don't you go write a book? Why don't you actually make an effort to tell a story, and you can decide who lives, who dies. You know, stop knocking these guys who are working their ass off. I mean, well, did you enjoy the show? Have you enjoyed the show? Are you still going to watch the show? Okay then. Be positive. Don't throw that negativity out there. It's too much. You know, this world is crappy enough. Why you want to put more crap in it? It's just sad. You know, find something to be positive about it. You know, find something that you enjoyed about it and hold on to that. You know, there's too much negativity out there. And I think that there's been comments about YouTubers being very negative and toxic. And I'm not saying that they are negative and toxic, but I am saying is that sometimes they tend to focus on the negative instead of focusing on the positive. And you should focus on the positive, because there's always something positive. There's always something good. And on that note, I'm going to end this. If you like the video, like. If you like the channel, subscribe. And I will be doing more videos as often as I can. I work full-time, so it's tough. And that's pretty much it. That's my opinion on the show. If you agree, great. If you don't, hey, write down in the comments. Tell me what you think. I'm interested to know. And that's my thing. Later.